Welcome everyone. Welcome this afternoon to our webinar topic on Windows 11. My name is Peter Meredith and I am here with Tech Eagles. We provide IT support, cybersecurity, and cyber compliance for small businesses in the Tri-Cities and Panama City region. We wanted to take this time today once again to emphasize the importance of upgrading to Windows 11 before October 14th, 2025, which is the end date for Windows 10, end of life date. As we go through today's discussion, if you have any questions, just post them in the chat and we will circle back and answer them at the end. Windows 11. What is it? How do I update to it? How much does that cost? And when should I upgrade? These are the questions that we are going to be answering today. What is Windows 11? It is the latest operating system that is released by Microsoft. It came out in 2021. And some of you may remember 10 years ago in 2015 when Microsoft said Windows 10 would be the last major operating system. Well, as you can see, that did not turn out to be true. We don't know exactly when Microsoft releases new operating systems, but typically it happens every 3 to 6 years. So the next one is probably not too far away. But there are two main reasons why Microsoft comes out with new operating systems. The first is for innovation. So software is constantly developing and new features and functions are constantly being created. And so with a new Windows 11 operating system, they're able to include more of those features and functions. The second reason why they come out with a new operating systems is to combat the cybersecurity or cyber threats by closing different security vulnerabilities. So there's always this constant push and pull between attackers and the software developers, and releasing a new software is one of the ways that they combat that. Now with understanding of what Windows 11 is, let's look at how you're going to update your current computers. So if your computer hardware is compatible with Windows 11, you are simply able to just update your computer. It's usually a seamless process. However, it is a good idea to have a plan to recover any documents or files on your computer should something go wrong during the update. As of April 2025, about 20% of all the computers in the United States can't upgrade to Windows 11 and they will have to be replaced. So there's a list of hardware requirements. It is kind of hard to understand what that list means unless you know about computer hardware. But a good general rule of thumb that's helpful in this regard is if a computer hardware was invented before 2018, then it's too old to update and you would have to replace it completely. So usually when you purchase a new computer, the computer you are buying has new hardware that was probably invented 1 or 2 years ago. This means that on average, with some exceptions on both ends, if you purchase a computer more than 5 years ago, so before 2020, it will probably need to be replaced. Now, I'm sure we're all now asking, how much does that cost? So for computers that can just simply upgrade, they meet the hardware requirements and are running Windows 10, you do not have to purchase any license from Microsoft to upgrade to Windows 11. However, most IT companies will charge some sort of fee to update the computer in a manner that guarantees your software and hardware will not be lost. So this varies from company to company. At Tech Eagles, we charge $75 per computer to update it to Windows 11. This covers the labor to do that such that you won't lose any of your files. So if you are getting a quote from an IT company to upgrade your computers, you should not see any charge for a Windows 11 license, and there should be a guarantee that you will not lose your data. Now, many of you will have some or all of your computers that need to be replaced. For a standard work computer, you're looking at a rough estimate for the cost after taxes and setup labor of around $1,600 per computer. One thing to note for everyone watching and listening is that the current US administration has put a 90-day pause on any tariffs related to technology products. This exemption will expire on July 4th, and we don't really know what's going to happen. After that, things could even change before that. But you can figure out today exactly which computers your business has and uses that can't upgrade to Windows 11 and have to be replaced. My recommendation for you is to figure that out, to determine, and we are happy to help you with that for free, and then purchase any new computers as soon as you can. We don't even know what the cost of computers, how it might change a month from now, much less 6 months from now. And even if you decide to buy the computers now, you don't necessarily have to install them now. You could buy the computers and then later you could have them installed. Now, with all this in mind, you might be asking yourself, wow, do I really need to upgrade? If it's all of this hassle and cost to replace all my computers, is it even worth it? Well, the answer is 100% yes, it is absolutely worth it. Even if the prices double or triple, you should still update your computers to Windows 11. The end of life for Windows 10 and for any software means that they are no longer providing the critical security updates to standard users. So when the bad guys find a vulnerability, they find a gap in a piece of software, they'll exploit that and the software developers will fix that. Well, once a piece of software like Windows 10 has reached end of life, they stop doing that. And the bad guys know this. And right now, they are actively discovering vulnerabilities with Windows 10, and they are not acting on them so that they are keeping those until right after the end of life date. They suddenly exploit all of those vulnerabilities that they discovered because Microsoft will no longer fix those for standard users. So it is absolutely critical that you upgrade to Windows 11 before October 14th, 2025. That concludes our topic for today. Thank you everyone for joining. We will answer some of the questions if you have any in the chat. And we did have some questions that were sent in before our webinar, so we will answer those as well. So the first question that we had sent in was how much time does it take to update your computer to Windows 11? Now, this is a great question. It does vary a lot based on the hardware of device, internet speed, and a few other factors. But a good rule of thumb is to plan for the update to take 2 hours, but it usually is closer to 1 hour for a computer to update from Windows 10 straight to Windows 11. So another question that was sent in is, what if your line of business software is incompatible with Windows 11? So this is fairly common. So lots of businesses will have a line of business software like an electronic medical record system, or many various different industries use different types of business software. And sometimes the license that you currently have does not work on the latest operating system like Windows 11. There are two options for you. The first and the best option is to purchase a newer version of the software that you use, or a different version, different type of software that is compatible with Windows 11. This is the best solution, is to purchase new line of business software or purchase a new license that allows you to install something on Windows 11. However, in the case that neither of those are options and your business cannot function without your line of business software, Microsoft does allow you to purchase a limited license that will extend the security updates for your computer. Now, this is very expensive, and we don't even actually know how much it costs at the moment. And it is not recommended to do this at all unless your business depends on it. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. If you have any other questions about upgrading your computers to Windows 11 or anything IT cybersecurity related, feel free to give us a call. As I mentioned during the webinar, we are happy to assess your network for you for free and let you know what computers you have that need to be upgraded to Windows 11 and which computers can and which computers need to be replaced. Thank you all for joining us, and have a great day.